5 ways that I walk through the fears of leaving my toxic job. This is Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, a toxic job survivor, and more importantly, I'm a toxic job liberator for Black women. So right now, I'm at the Palms Resort in Turks and Caicos on vacation. You may hear some background noise. I apologize for that. I'm on the balcony right now. Hopefully, you can see the pool and the ocean. So again, I'm here to talk to you about the 5 ways that I was able to walk through the fears of leaving my toxic job. I want to share this with you because I hear Black women in my comments section and my emails come to me and they tell me about their toxic job experiences, and they really emphasize how they want to go. They desperately want to leave the toxic job, but they feel stuck by fear. So I wanted to talk to you about how I walk through the fears, and hopefully that might be of benefit to you. So again, sorry for the background noise. I'm at a resort in Turks and Caicos, so people are out on their balconies. So I wanted to also be out on my balcony, but you might hear some background noise, so I apologize for that in advance, okay? So the first thing that, first way I was able to walk through the fear was coming to the recognition that fear is a normal response. Fear is a normal response, and walking through the fear is part of the process. So number 1 is acknowledging fear is going to be there. The fear is going to be there. So I don't want you to feel that if I feel the fear, that must mean I don't need to go, that I need to just stay here. I want to just validate that fear is normal. You will fear the fear. That is part of the process, okay? That's number 1. I have notes, okay? Number 2, another way that I was able to walk through the fear of leaving my toxic job was to consistently participate in therapy. So I talk about this. I'm very open about this. I am a therapist with a therapist. I work with a Black woman therapist. I consistently participated in therapy to help me walk through the fear. So my therapist was able to reality test with me about things. She was able to work with me about identifying what are the specific fears and to really come up with a plan for me to address those fears. But she was there to support me throughout that process. So again, consistently participating in therapy. That's number 2. Number 3, in terms of how I was able to walk through the fear of leaving my toxic job, was that I participated in business coaching. So business coaching helps you, and it helped me get my game plan together so I would know how to replace my income, because I didn't know how to pivot. I didn't know how to do that. Now I knew that I had skills, talents, degrees, licenses, certificates. I knew all that. But I didn't know how to pivot and utilize what I had there and what I already had coming into that job, how I can use that to pivot. I didn't know the next steps in terms of creating my own business. So for you, it might be even a business coach to help you pivot to go into another job. But my hope, sis, is that you don't end up in another toxic job. So therapy will help you in terms of recognizing the red flags, things to look out for in relation to toxic jobs. And maybe business coaches can help you if you choose to go to another job in terms of identifying the specific things that you're looking for at the job, and in terms of even those red flags. I've had Black women talk about ways that they go into interviews and they interview the company, so they don't end up in another toxic job. So that might be an option for you. And or if you want to create your own business, business coaching can help you in terms of those next steps. So for me, all of my business coaches have been Black women. Okay, so I continually invest in coaching because there has absolutely been a return on my investment. You may have seen my other videos. I was at the ROI Summit, Rachel Rogers, so I went through her coach certification program. I do things to invest in myself because I know there will be a return on my investment. The same for you for business coaching. So just make sure you do good research on your business coaching with identifying a business coach who, number 1, knows what they're talking about, so they have credibility. Number 2, you have seen, they have evidence that can show you that they have helped other people like you, other Black women like you. You absolutely want to do your research, and that when you look at their materials and you look at the direction that you want for yourself, that they have a pathway to helping you get to that. Okay, so business coach is number 3. Number 4 was and I talked about this before too, that I started working with Dr. Roche Brown for financial coaching. So she's a financial psychologist. So I knew that one of the main things that kept me stuck at that toxic job, that one of the main things that I hear other Black women say in terms of keeping them stuck at a toxic job is the fear of finances. How am I going to pay my bills? What do I need to do? Worst case scenario that I hear Black women talk about is, I don't want to end up homeless. And I'm not making this up. Black women have said this to me, that they feel that if they leave that job, that some kind of way they're going to end up homeless. And so I don't want to minimize that fear at all. So again, I'm validating fears because the fears are real. However, I am talking to you about ways to work through those fears. So one of the ways to work through fears is to prepare yourself. So the financial coaching helped me so I can come up with a financial plan. So when I came up with that financial plan, I worked with Dr. Roche Brown. So she's a licensed clinical psychologist and a financial psychologist. So I worked with her to figure out what was my walkaway number. So what was the amount of money that I needed on a consistent basis monthly that would allow me to leave my toxic job? I needed that. You need to know that too. I think a lot of us avoid looking at our money because it brings up a lot of different other fears. So we may avoid it, but if you avoid looking at your money, then you don't even know what you need so you can walk away. So again, even though it's fearful, I was a huge avoidance of looking at money. Even though I did that, I knew I had to approach what I had been avoiding. Okay? As a psychologist, I know, and I knew for myself, the avoidance helped short term, like, oh good, I have to look at it right now. But long term, it didn't help me at all because it kept me longer at a toxic job. So that might be the same for you. Okay, so that's tip number 4. Talk to someone about financial coaching. If you want to also check out Dr. Roche Brown, I'll put her information in the description section as well. And for financial coaching, another option is the masterclass that I told you about before. But I also want to tell you again, so to get your money right and leave that toxic job, financial masterclass for Black women is recorded. So this is me and Dr. Roche Brown have come together and we did this financial masterclass. We did 2 that were live. So we're not going to do any more live this year, but you can access the recording. So the financial masterclass shows you, like actually, when you're in the masterclass, the recording, you will actually come up with a financial plan based upon your timeline for leaving. That's golden. That's golden right there. You will also learn about different ways, different options about how to look at and how to follow up on your options for your health insurance, your retirement, and your life insurance. Very practical things that we're all concerned about. You will also learn how to replace your income, and not only how to replace it, how to exceed it, and having multiple streams of income. So something I'll talk about in the masterclass is that we have to be aware as Black women that we have to be cautious of seeking all of our income from one source. So if you get all of your income from just a job, then that's risky. So what happens when that job goes away? Let's say you were laid off or that you want to walk away. If all of your income is tied to just a job, then you feel stuck. So we'll talk about also about replacing your income and creating multiple streams of income. So again, that's in the financial masterclass, okay? And the number 5 in terms of how I walked through fear and how I addressed that was that and just for you too, there might be people in your circle who love you, who care for you, who don't understand the level of misery that you're experiencing at that toxic job, or they may not know of another way. They may not know that there's another way for you to replace your income. They may not know that you can leave that so-called good job with the good benefits. They may not know that you're able to do that and pivot to something else. If it's another job, again, hopefully it's not another toxic job, and or having your own business. They may not even conceive of that because that's not how they were brought up. So be very mindful as you share information with people, particularly those you care about, and you share this information with them. Be mindful if they're saying things to you like, girl, don't leave that job. That's a good job. You won't be able to find anything else. If you leave that job, you end up homeless. If they start doing this to you, recognize what's happening. They are projecting their fears onto you, not in a malicious way, more than likely. They're concerned for you. They want the best for you. They're fearful for you, but they're projecting their fears onto you. Recognize that that is what it is. Okay? So recognize that. And start limiting your information that you share with them about what your plans are. Start limiting that information because you are already walking through your own fears about leaving. You really don't need other people projecting their fears onto you. That will help you stay at a toxic job longer. Okay? So if that's you, that's your situation, that was my situation as well. I limited the amount of information I shared in relation to the toxic job and my plans for leaving. And I invite you to think about who are the people who can support you? Who are the circle of people who can support you? If it's one or two people, who are those people? Okay, so I'm quoting Lamazzini. She said, check the tree before you pick the fruit. So before you start taking advice from people who cannot conceive of something different outside of being in a toxic job, who are themselves miserable in a toxic job, and they're telling you to stay at a toxic job, check the tree before you pick the fruit. I invite you to start thinking about and exploring and checking out other people who are like-minded, who are also saying no more about a toxic job, who you actually see them doing the thing. They actually have moved on from a toxic job and they've gone on to something better. Yes, there are other jobs that are not all toxic, even though I've been told that. Okay, so it might be they are in a better job that's not toxic. It might be they've created their own business and they're doing well financially. It might be they have a side hustle that helps to supplement their income in addition to being at a job that's not toxic. So surround yourself with those people. Those people are out there. So it's a circle of your influence. I've heard somewhere, I don't know who it was who told me this. I think it was in my coaching program. I think it was in the Hello 7 coach certification program, that the people who are around you really influence your success. So they really influence your mindset. So be mindful of who you surround yourself with and what information you share with them. Okay? So again, I just share it with you just briefly because again, I'm on vacation in Turks and Caicos. I'm at the Palms Resort. And again, just want to just briefly talk to you about the 5 ways that I was able to walk through the fears of leaving my toxic job. And I want to share this with you because, again, if you're a black woman right now and you're watching this video and you've maybe watched my other videos as well on YouTube, you might resonate with a lot of what I'm saying. But the thing that keeps you stuck, the thing that kept me stuck, the thing that I hear so many black women reach out to me and say, I'm stuck, sis, I want to leave, is the fear. So watch this video, watch it as many times as you need to, and I invite you to really reflect on all the things I talked to you about. So the 5 ways that I walked through the fear, I invite you to reflect on, sit, pause, reflect on all these things I'm talking about to you, and come up with a game plan for yourself, the game plan of walking through the fears. You can do it. The fear will be there, but you are coming up with a plan for how to walk through it. Okay? So I talked again, just a recap. So recognizing the fears there. 2, consistently participate in therapy, I would say, with a black woman therapist. 3, participate in business coaching with someone who knows what they're talking about. They can take you to the next steps. They can give you the game plan of what to do. A, B, C, and D. They can tell you what to do. Okay? And they can help you in terms of learning how to replace your income. 4, some type of financial coaching, planning. Okay? So for steps 4 and 5, 3 and 4 that I just talked to you about. So if you need that support, then I do have something that can help you. So it's the Get Your Money Right and Leave That Toxic Job Financial Masterclass for Black women. It is all recorded. You don't have to fear anybody knowing that you're there. You can look at it in the privacy of your home, wherever you want to look at it. But you will come up with a financial plan based upon when you want to go. Okay? So that's a resource for you. It'll be in the description section. So check out that link. And the 5th thing is be mindful of your circle of influence. Surround yourself with other people who can uplift you, who can support you, who can pour into you, and not project their fears onto you. Okay? So again, as I'm signing off, I'm about to go do some fun things. I'm on vacation right now. So again, think about, reflect on what I'm sharing with you, sis. And again, this is for Black women who are ready to leave a toxic job. Sis, if you are listening to this right now and you're not quite ready, perhaps my other videos can help you in terms of processing things and getting the courage to leave. This video specifically also for Black women who are ready to go. Okay, I have resources for you. Check them out, okay? And I also ask you, sis, in addition to really sitting with yourself, being honest with yourself, I also ask you to share this video with at least 2 other Black women, because there's so many of us out here. I cannot believe it. There's so many of us out here who are really struggling in a toxic job. Please share this video with at least 2 Black women, okay? As I'm signing off on my way to have some fun in Turks and Caicos, give this video a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know to suggest this video to other Black women. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Lifting As We Climb Consulting, Wellness Services. Okay, signing off. See you later. Bye.